Have you ever felt like your body slammed on the brakes right when you wanted to speed up? I'm not just talking about physical fatigue. I'm talking about that precise moment during intimacy when your mind is ready, the desire's there, but down there just isn't getting the signal. Or if it does, it's weak, uncertain, and fades way too fast. Many men who walk into my office looking down at the floor tell me, "Doctor, maybe this is the end. Maybe I just have to accept that my prime is past." And every time I give the same answer. What if I told you it's not your fault, and more importantly, it's not the fault of your age? There's a silent enemy flowing through your veins. Or rather, not flowing. Imagine your arteries are the pipes in an old plumbing system. After 60 years of use, scale has built up. Rust has narrowed the passageway. You can turn the faucet on full blast. You can want that water with everything you've got, but if the pipe is clogged, you'll only get a trickle. Modern medicine offers you a quick fix, the famous blue pill. What does it do? It forces the pump. It cranks the pressure up to the max to try and bust through that blockage. Does it work? Often, yes, but at what cost? Headaches, hot flashes, a racing heart, and that unpleasant feeling of relying on synthetic chemicals to feel like a man. But what if I told you there's something in your kitchen, probably hiding in a drawer or pantry, that does exactly the same job as the blue pill, but biologically, cleaning the pipes instead of forcing the pump? I'm not talking about witchcraft. I'm talking about biochemistry. I'm talking about an ingredient so powerful that in ancient times it was given to soldiers before battle and Olympic athletes to increase physical and vascular stamina. Stick with me until the end, because today I'm not just going to talk about eating healthy. I'm going to teach you a precise clinical protocol. I'll explain how to transform a simple clove of garlic, costing just pennies, into the most powerful natural vasodilator in existence. And pay attention, there is a trick. If you eat it the way you usually do, it won't work, and you'll just have bad breath. But if you use the method I'm about to reveal, it will become a silent, odorless, and incredibly effective medicine. I'm Dr. Melissa Russo, and today we're reactivating the flow. Before we get to the solution, we need to understand why this happens. Why do erections become less frequent and less rigid after 50 or 60? Many think it's testosterone. Sure, hormones drop, that's physiological. But in most cases I treat, the engine is there. The gas, testosterone, is there. The problem is the transmission system. An erection is a hydraulic event, period. To have a solid erection, your body needs to pump a huge amount of blood into the cavernous bodies of the penis, and at the same time, close the valves so it doesn't escape. For this to happen, your artery walls need to be elastic, soft, able to dilate in a split second as soon as the brain sends the impulse. But what happens with age? It's what we call atherosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries. Cholesterol, calcium, and silent inflammation create plaque. The vessel walls stiffen. They can't open up fast anymore. It's like trying to inflate a balloon that's gone hard and dry. You put in immense effort, but the result is poor. And do you know what the first sign of this problem is? It's not a heart attack. It's not a stroke. Those come later. The first sign is right there between your legs. The arteries in the penis are much smaller and thinner than the coronary arteries in the heart, so they clog up first. Erectile dysfunction, gentlemen, is often the canary in the coal mine. It's the body telling you, hey, circulation is slowing down here, the pipes are narrowing. So when we work to restore your erection, we aren't just improving your sex life. We are saving your cardiovascular life. We are cleaning out the whole system. And here enters our protagonist of the day, a white bulb that grows underground, which nature designed as the perfect sweeper for human arteries. Garlic. I know what you're thinking. Doctor, I put garlic in my sauce, I use it for roasts, yet I don't feel like a bull. You're right, because for garlic to work as a natural medicine, it must be activated. Garlic contains an amino acid called alliin. On its own, it does nothing. But when you break, crush, or cut the garlic clove, an enzyme is released, alliinase. These two elements meet, and bam, they create a lysine. A lysine is the magic substance. It's what gives the strong smell, but it's also what heals. What does a lysine do in the body of a 60-year-old man? 3 fundamental things. Stimulates nitric oxide. Remember nitric oxide? I talk about it all the time. It's the molecule that orders blood vessels to relax and open up. Without nitric oxide, there is no erection. Garlic drastically increases the production of this molecule. It acts on the exact same chemical pathway as Viagra, but upstream. Reduces plaque. Clinical studies have shown that aged garlic or pure allicin can reduce the accumulation of soft plaque in the arteries. It's like pouring drain cleaner into a clogged sink. It slowly dissolves the obstruction. It thins the blood. Garlic is a natural antiplatelet agent. It makes the blood less viscous, less thick. Thinner blood flows better, reaching the most peripheral capillaries, the ones that bring life and vigor to erectile tissues. But there's a huge problem. Allicin is unstable. If you cook garlic, the allicin dies. If you eat it whole without chewing or nicking it, allicin doesn't form. If you buy garlic powder at the supermarket, it's often already inactive. That's why most men don't get the benefits. They're getting the method wrong. They're using the weapon with the safety on. In a moment, I'll teach you the garlic pill protocol, a method that maximizes allicin without destroying your stomach or your social life. I want to tell you the story of Giovanni. Giovanni is 66, a retired bank teller, a distinguished, well-groomed man. When he came to me 6 months ago, he was crushed. "Doctor," he told me, "my wife is still a beautiful woman. We love each other, but I avoid her. I go to bed later so I don't have to face that moment of embarrassment. I've tried the pills, the famous ones. They work, yes, but I get a terrible pounding headache, a stuffy nose, I turn red as a beet. And then I have to schedule everything an hour in advance. It's so sad. There's no spontaneity. I feel like a robot." Giovanni had slightly high blood pressure and borderline cholesterol. His blood vessels were stiff. I told him, "Giovanni, let's make a deal. Put away the chemical pills for 30 days. I want you to do a deep clean of your arteries. I'll give you a natural protocol. It costs less than $1 a week." He looked at me skeptically. "With garlic, doctor, but I'll smell like an old pizzeria." I promised him that if he followed my instructions, the smell wouldn't be a problem. Giovanni started. First week, no visible changes, but he told me he felt lighter in his legs and his hands were less cold. A good sign. Peripheral circulation was waking up. Second week, his blood pressure was down by 5 points. Third week, one morning, Giovanni wrote me an email. "Doctor, I don't want to speak too soon, but this morning I woke up with a sensation I haven't felt in years. There was an awakening down there." After a month, Giovanni returned to my office. He was smiling. He hadn't recovered the erection of a 20-year-old. Let's not kid ourselves, miracles don't exist. But he had recovered functionality. He could have satisfying natural intimacy without headaches and without scheduling the exact hour with a drug. His arteries had started breathing again. The flow was back. Do you want to know exactly what Giovanni did? Here is the protocol. Grab a pen and paper. This is the heart of the video. Don't improvise. The key is oxidation. If you take a garlic clove and swallow it whole, your stomach won't digest it well. And more importantly, the allicin won't have formed because the clove wasn't injured. If you chew it, the allicin forms in your mouth. But the smell will stick with you for 2 days and it will burn terribly. Here is what you need to do. Step 1, the prep. Every evening before dinner, or about 2 to 3 hours before bed, take a fresh garlic clove, not the dry one sitting there for 6 months. It needs to be firm with tight skin. Peel it, cut it into thin slices or small cubes, small enough to swallow without chewing. Attention now, leave these little pieces on the cutting board exposed to the air for exactly 10 to 15 minutes. Don't skip this step. In these 10 minutes, oxygen reacts with the cut garlic and activates the enzyme. The amount of allicin explodes. If you eat it immediately, you lose 70% of the healing power. You have to let it rest. It's the magic of chemistry. Step 2, smart intake. Once the 10 minutes are up, you have 2 options to ingest it without side effects. Option A, best for the smell. The milk method. Put the garlic pieces on a spoon and swallow them like pills, washing them down with a sip of milk, dairy or plant-based. Why milk? The fats in milk neutralize much of the volatile sulfur compounds responsible for bad breath. It goes down to the stomach without touching your teeth or tongue. Option B, for those who don't drink milk. The honey method. Mix the oxidized garlic pieces with a teaspoon of honey. Remember the video on honey? It's a booster. The honey protects the stomach and makes it go down easier. Swallow without chewing. Step 3, timing. Why in the evening? Why in the E? At night, your body enters repair mode, parasympathetic system. It's at night that nocturnal erections occur, which are fundamental for oxygenating the penis. By providing a lysine and nitric oxide before sleep, you help the body dilate vessels exactly when it needs to most, encouraging those involuntary nocturnal erections that act as the gym for your organ. What will happen? Don't expect an instant erection 20 minutes after taking it. Garlic isn't a synthetic drug. Garlic is a restorative. It works by accumulation. In the first 3 to 4 days, you'll probably notice an improvement in digestion after an initial adjustment phase and a sensation of greater warmth in your extremities, hands, and feet. After 10 to 14 days, that's when the magic starts. Nitric oxide levels in the blood stabilize upwards. Blood pressure normalizes. The penis receives more blood during the night. You'll start waking up with that feeling of fullness, of life that you were missing. Erections will be easier to get and, above all, easier to maintain because the valves work better when the tissue is healthy and elastic. An important note on safety: garlic thins the blood. If you are taking anticoagulant medication, like warfarin or daily aspirin, you must speak with your doctor before starting this daily protocol, as the effects could stack. If you have very low blood pressure, monitor it because garlic tends to lower it further. And if you suffer from acute gastritis, start with very small doses, maybe on a full stomach, and see how your body reacts. You see, nature has scattered around us everything we need to age with dignity and power. We've been conditioned to think that health is bought in a pharmacy in a colorful box at a high price. But sometimes the solution is humble. It's white, costs pennies, and just requires a little knowledge to be used effectively. Garlic won't give you back your 20s. No one can do that, but it can give you back the functionality of your 60s at their maximum potential. It can clear the way so the blood can run free and strong again, bringing life where there is now silence. Try the garlic pill protocol for 30 days. It costs nothing to try, and I want you to do one thing for me. When you notice the first change, when you feel that warmth return, come back to this video and write one single word in the comments: awakening. That will be our code. It will be the signal to other men that it is possible, that it's not over. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because in the next video, I'll talk about a spice that many use only at Christmas, but which is actually a powerful natural anesthetic for those suffering from the opposite problem: finishing too soon. You won't want to miss it. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. See you in the next video.